Okay, so movie fans, you know how some actors have those signature things that they like always do in their movies?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tom Cruise and running,
Yeah.
like every movie he's running.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Or Leo DiCaprio pointing,
Oh.
every movie he's pointing at something
Yeah.
dramatically.
Uh-huh.
It's like their trademark move.
Yeah, becomes like their thing.
Yeah, and today we're diving deep into an actor who might not be like a household name for everyone, but
Mm-hmm.
those in the know that he's got this thing he does. He dances in pretty much every movie he's in.
Interesting.
The one and only Sam Rockwell.
Oh, yeah, Sam Rockwell.
So, and what's so interesting about this is that he's not a classically trained dancer.
Right.
He pulls inspiration from films like Risky Business, Footloose, even Michael Jackson.
I've heard him talk about that, yeah.
Like he said that watching Kevin Bacon in Footloose inspired him to learn how to do the splits.
Wow.
So that's dedication.
It is.
But it also makes you wonder, is that why his dancing resonates so much?
I think so.
Because it feels so authentic.
Yeah.
It's not about perfect technique or anything like that. It's the raw enjoyment that shines through.
Yeah, I think you've hit on something there.
Yeah.
He's not a professional dancer, but he throws himself into it with such gusto.
Mm.
It's very relatable, and it goes against the grain of, the kind of polished, choreographed performances we often see in these big Hollywood movies.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's refreshing.
And it's become part of his image. Like, talk shows will practically expect him to dance when he's on as a guest.
Oh, absolutely.
He did a music video, like fully embracing it.
I think it's smart.
Makes you wonder how much of this is a conscious career move.
It's clever, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It sets him apart, makes him memorable.
Yeah.
But it's not just a gimmick either. Sometimes his dancing actually becomes like a crucial part of the storytelling.
Right.
Like in Charlie's Angels.
Uh-huh.
His dancing is actually a clever misdirect that reveals a huge plot twist.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah.
You almost forget he's even dancing until
Right.
Well, I won't spoil it.
Right.
But it's a great example of how dance can be so much more than just entertainment in film.
Absolutely.
It can be used to completely upend audience expectations.
Yeah.
And even signal a complete shift in a character's personality, all through physicality.
Exactly.
Makes you realize how powerful movement can be in storytelling.
Yeah.
You think about those classic movie musicals.
Yeah.
Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire.
Right.
Even like fight scenes, they all have this dance-like quality to them.
Totally. It's a language of its own.
Yeah.
And Rockwell seems to understand that instinctively.
Yeah.
But what's even more fascinating is that he's taken on roles where he's had to portray real-life figures who are known for their dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Chuck Barris, and get this, Bob Fosse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Talk about a challenge.
Yeah.
Like playing Bob Fosse.
Right.
A legend of choreography. Must have been incredibly daunting.
I bet, especially considering Fosse's style.
Right.
Those sharp, angular movements.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't just about learning the steps.
Right.
It was about embodying a whole persona.
Right. And Rockwell has talked about how demanding that role was.
Yeah.
It wasn't just his usual playful improvisation.
Uh-huh.
He had to really work at it to do Fosse justice.
Yeah, which really highlights his range as an actor.
Uh-huh.
He can do that free-flowing improvisational style.
Right.
But when the role calls for it, he can buckle down.
Yeah.
And master even the most technically demanding choreography.
Yeah, you're right.
It says a lot about his work ethic.
That's really impressive. But it also makes you wonder...
Right. Like, how does he keep it fresh?
Yeah.
As he does more and more films, is there a risk of it becoming predictable?
Right.
Even Rockwell himself has joked about, needing to learn some new moves.
Right. How do you keep evolving something that's become such a signature?
Right.
Without losing what makes it special?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a balancing act for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's a testament to his creativity that he continues to, find new ways to incorporate dance into his performances.
Okay. I have to ask, what kind of new moves would you like to see from Sam Rockwell?
Ooh.
I'm picturing like a tango.
Okay.
Or maybe some break dancing.
That would be amazing.
Right.
I'd love to see that, but honestly, I'm kind of more interested in seeing how he continues to weave his dancing into roles that call for more emotional depth.
Oh, interesting.
Can he use it to convey vulnerability,
Uh-huh.
heartbreak, even anger?
That's a really interesting thought.
Yeah.
We know he can use it for comedic effect.
Right.
Charm,
Right.
But can he tap into those raw emotions through movement?
It raises a bigger question about physicality and acting in general.
Yeah.
Like, how much can an actor really communicate without words? Just through their movement, their posture, even the smallest gestures.
It's true. Think about someone like Charlie Chaplin, who built an entire career on physical comedy.
Right.
Or even Tom Hanks.
Right.
Like, he's a master of those subtle physical cues that make
Yeah.
his characters so believable.
I think Rockwell's dancing is another layer of that.
Yeah.
You know, it adds this expressiveness that goes beyond dialogue. And as movie fans, it's something worth paying attention to.
Totally. Those little details, they're what makes certain actors stand out.
Yeah.
Give them that extra something. And for Rockwell, it just happens to be all about the dance moves.
It's a good reminder that even in a world of CGI and special effects, the power of a physical performance shouldn't be underestimated.
So true. It would be easy for him to just blend in, be another character actor.
Right.
But the dancing, it injects this element of fun, of surprise, and honestly, even depth.
It does.
It's unexpected. You never know when he's going to bust a move.
And it speaks to his willingness to take risks. To not take himself too seriously.
Right.
It's like a rejection of that typical leading man image.
Right. He embraces being goofy, vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that makes him all the more relatable.
It's a reminder that the most memorable performers are often those who embrace their quirks, who bring something unique to the screen. And that brings us back to you, our listeners.
Yes.
What are some of those unexpected qualities that stand out to you when you watch a movie?
Yeah, what makes an actor truly captivating?
Right.
We'd love to hear your thoughts, but for now, let's get back to Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, it's like he could have just been another character actor blended into the background, you know?
Right.
But the dancing thing, it adds this whole other, like a layer of fun, you know, this element of surprise.
It does add depth, too, I think.
Yeah, and it's unpredictable. You never know when it's going to happen.
Right.
He's always teetering on the verge of dancing, and that energy just, like, crackles on screen.
Absolutely.
You can't help but be drawn in.
And I think it goes back to that thing we were talking about before, about him not taking himself too seriously.
It's a nice change from the typical, like, stoic, overly serious leading men we often see.
Absolutely. He's not afraid to be goofy.
Right.
To let loose. And I think that's a big part of what makes him so watchable.
It reminds us that sometimes the most captivating performers are the ones who embrace their quirks, who bring something truly unique to their roles.
So the next time you're watching a Sam Rockwell movie, keep an eye out for those moments of unexpected dance.
Right.
It might seem like a small thing, but it tells you a lot about him as an actor, and maybe even about yourself as a viewer.
Yeah. What are those things that, like, surprise and delight you in a performance?
Yeah.
What makes an actor stand out to you?
Yeah.
Think about that.
It's something to consider next time you settle in for a movie night.
For sure.
Well, that's what makes these deep dives so rewarding, right?
It is.
It's about appreciating those little things that make movies so fascinating. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.